hard to capture, extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my psyche.
Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explained here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto Naruto Next Generations, the manga. And for anime only fans, this is the time of the month where a lot of the content that you guys see on the channel is going to be spoiler heavy, so I thank you for your support. However, if you're still here, I'm assuming that you guys have already read the latest Boruto manga chapter and you guys don't care about spoilers. So I think right now we need to have a very serious conversation about the future of Boruto Uzumaki and the future of Sasuke Uchiha. And I think that one thing that is going to be very clear is the fact that we are now in a situation to where Sasuke Uchiha cannot, under any circumstances, actually protect Boruto from not only Code, but also Eida. And I think that is something that we need to actually consider, because one thing that does seem like that they're actually doing is they're setting the stage that Eida and Code, once Code has the limiters taken off of them, they're gonna be stronger than Jigen. And I see people freaking out. They're like, yo, what the hell? We got people stronger than Ishiki. No, Jigen. So I think that we need to clear this up before we talk about why Sasuke is in a bit of a trouble when it comes to protecting Boruto. So the way that I took that, and the way that I think that the actual author intent is there's a clear distinction between Jigen and Ishiki, and Amato even makes it when he says that, you know, Jigen wanted this, but then he also refers to Ishiki as a separate being. Now, I understand that we as the fandom interchangeably use those actual names because Ishiki was controlling Jigen's body, but for narrative intent, they're two separate beings. So the way I look at it is you have the base Jigen that everybody in Car actually interacted with, and then you have the version of Jigen that fought Naruto and Sasuke. Now, the reason why I say the version of is that version of Jigen went to see the Ten Tails, absorbed the Ten Tails chakra, and then fought Naruto and Sasuke. So you have that version of Jigen, and then you also have Ishiki, who was reborn into Jigen's body, and that version of Ishiki is implied to be a lot stronger than the transformed Ten Tails juiced up version of Jigen that Naruto and Sasuke fought. So I think that when you say this, I think that when they say stronger than Jigen, I think that they're referring to this as before the Ten Tails chakra amp that Jigen received before he fought Naruto and Sasuke, and was shown being strong enough that he's able to casually punch Naruto out of his Kurama avatar, casually kick Sasuke out of his perfect Susanoo. It's because Jigen's base was already strong. This dude then turns around and absorbs Ten Tails chakra. So the reason why I say this is, if we say that these cyborgs are stronger than Jigen, I think it's pretty safe to assume that they're going to be weaker or somewhat closer to the Ten Tails chakra absorbed version of Jigen, but weaker than Ishiki Otsutsuki. So in any event, regardless of where you place Eida and regardless of where you place Code, I think that that's probably something that's going to be too much for Sasuke to actually deal with, because you have a guy in Code where very briefly in the actual manga chapter, we saw how Code actually went through with this fighting. Code is a very sneaky fellow. When Code literally goes to get the strap, the man is able to use what looks like space-time ninjutsu, even though I believe Amato said that's not space-time ninjutsu, but we do see this dude shifting places and he's attacking from behind. So with a character like Sasuke, that's a hell of a matchup, because Sasuke, once he got his rinnegan, Sasuke was using a main Tejikara in a lot of creative ways, and that's more of Sasuke's fighting style. So I could see Sasuke actually being the one who is able to do very well against Code, because you have muscle memory. He's going to be used to fighting somebody that is able to use what appears to be like a variation of space-time ninjutsu, who attacks from blind spots and etc., because that's the way that Sasuke himself fought a lot of the times using the Meinoteiji card. So I think that Sasuke would be able to predict the movements of Code, especially because Sasuke has the Sharingan's Eye of Insight, which allows you to predict the movements of the person that you're fighting by being able to see the small muscle twitches that go on in their body. But where it comes to Eida, this is where you have a bit of a problem here. So if she's stronger than base Jigen but weaker than base Jigen that has 10 Tails Chakra Absorb, you're having a huge problem here, because Boruto is not on that level. At least in my opinion, I don't think Boruto's on that level. He's supposed to be 80% Otsutsuki, and it's one of those things where I could kind of see the narrative intent if Kishimoto does go this way, which is basically if Boruto's 80% Otsutsuki, in theory, he should have 80% of Momoshiki's power, because Momoshiki's going to be reborn into his body, so it would make sense that Boruto's body will be able to draw out that percentage of Momoshiki's power. But the problem is that Boruto does not have full mastery of his karma seal, so it would make sense if Boruto's not able to actually draw out that full amount of power. And I think that what we're seeing here is we're going to be in a situation where Sasuke is going to have his hands full with Code. He's going to be struggling against Code more than likely, and you're going to have Boruto being toyed around with Eida. And I think that one thing that you're going to end up seeing is that Boruto, much like his father Naruto, is going to be through actual combat that Boruto is going to be able to actually start his own progression. And the reason why I say this is that if I'm right that Boruto should have 80% of Momoshiki's power but can't tap into 80% of Momoshiki's power, which is a huge difference, not being able to fully tap into it. I think that this is one of those times where if you look at this, you could see a scenario to where Boruto, because he's in a life or death situation for a brief period of time, is able to tap into, let's say, 50% of Momoshiki's power. That's enough right there to where he should realistically be able to take on somebody that is stronger than Jigen but weaker than 10 Tails Chakra Absorb Jigen. And the reason why I say that is Ishiki is clearly stronger than Jigen, but at the same time, when you have Momoshiki, it depends on which version of Momoshiki we're talking about. If you have the base version of Momoshiki, Momoshiki is freakishly powerful. We don't have enough information about base Jigen without the 10 Tails Chakra Absorb, but we do know that Naruto and Sasuke, with less than 50% of their power, were able to fight against base Momoshiki without any type of problem, and they're able to demolish fuse Momoshiki. And so you have an idea here. We know what full power Naruto and Sasuke failed to do against Jigen with the 10 Tails Chakra Absorb. So it's going to depend on which version of Jigen is actually being referred to. Like I said, I think it's base Jigen, and if it's base Jigen, I see no reason why Momoshiki should not be stronger than base Jigen before he actually absorbs the 10 Tails Chakra. However, I want to know from you guys, do you guys agree with me that this is being used as a way to actually set Boruto up to draw on that power? Let me know down in the comment section below, but as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching until then. Have an awesome day, guys.